Hello there and welcome to today's video in which I'm going to be making one of my favourite Muppets, Kermit. No, I'm making Animal and little Grover here. Well, that's a Muppet baby actually, but yeah, I'm making Animal and Grover today as little pin badges. The Muppets are actually one of my favourite character designs out there, and they have been throughout my life actually, and they're certainly some of the character designs that I've been really inspired by as an artist. So today is the first time I've ever made them, so it'll be really interesting to see how I get on really. And thanks ever so much for those of you who got involved in my little poll over on the community page, because Animal was really popular, I have to say. So yeah, he was just a given really to make today, and Grover is one of my favourite characters, if not my favourite Muppet actually, so he had to be made as well. So yeah, let's go see how I get on. I'm going to start with Animal, so I need to make the back of the pin badge, so I've got some really nice bright yellow clay here. So I'm using a star-shaped cookie cutter, though you could use whatever shape you have to hand really. A circle or a square or a heart would work too. So I'm just going to pop that out, and I think I need to neaten off the edges here, so I'm going to use my scalpel just to take the ends off, and I'll neaten things off just with a wet wipe. So I'm going to move on to Animal's face now, and I've got a nice orange clay here, and firstly I just need to ensure I've got the right size going on. So I'm going to use my blade cutting tool just to cut right down the centre at a slight angle, and with some black polymer clay I need to make the inside of his mouth, so just going to cut that down to size and just slot that in like so. And incidentally, details of the tools that I use pretty frequently are down below in the description. So I need to make Animal's tongue, so I'll cut that down to size and just pop a line down the centre with my needle tool here, and just place that inside. I need to make Animal some teeth now, so I'm using little tiny conical shapes here just with some white polymer clay, so I'll just add on the last and just pat those down so they're nice and secure. And I'll just pop a length of the orange clay on the bottom. I think it's really starting to resemble a Muppet now. So I just need to plot out where I want Animal's eyes to go. So I'll just take his nose off and add in some indentations. And I'll just pop on some black clay like so. And then pop in his eyeballs. And once I'm happy where the placements are, I can then pat those down like so. And pop on his nose. Give him a couple of pupils, and then I can place him onto the star. So now I need to add basically a load of hair onto Animal, so I'm using a really nice kind of pinky clay here. It's like a pinky reddy tone actually, but it's really reminiscent of Animal, so I'm just going to keep going, adding more and more hair. And interestingly, he's really starting to resemble Rolf here, you know, Rolf the dog from the Muppets, and a little of Dr. Teeth as well, so that you can really see the Muppet DNA coming through now. So I've just changed to orange clay for the top of his head, and just keep going. Looks a little like Bert now as well. So now I need to start adding some orange clay to the top of his lip like so, to make him look really hairy. yeah, just basically just keep going. So I'm happy with the placement of the orange hair, so I'm just going to add on some tiny pieces of black clay just to the top of his eye area. So I want to add some stars to my pin badge, so what I tend to do here is once I've cut out my stars, what I tend to do is to basically use the outside lines as traces, just to go round and make the stars both neater and smaller. And I've got 5 of those now, so I can just add them onto the pin badge like so. But if you didn't want to use stars, you could always use little gesture marks like so. But I'm going to use stars for mine, and I'm now going to move on to Grover. So for Grover, I've got some really nice kind of indigo clay here. So firstly, I just need to make sure I've got the right size, and that looks pretty good. And Grover is really textured as a Muppet, so to try and emulate that, I've got my needle tool here, and basically I need to just create a load of texture like so. So I'll just keep sort of turning the clay every now and again just to make sure that I've got, yeah, just some really good texture going on. And just need to remember to go around the sides as well. And as with animal, I'm just going to cut right down the centre and just make sure that the top lip area is nice and textured. And I've got some black polymer clay here, so I just need to basically make a mouth shape for him and just slide that into place. And his lip area is textured as well really, so I just need to do that with my needle tool. And once I'm happy with that, I'll just slot that into place. And I've got basically a line of red clay here, so that just needs to go around the margins, like so. And I'll just take the ends off. And I've got a nice pink nose here, nice and large, and immediately that looks a lot more like Grover, doesn't it? So I can just plot out where I want his eyes to go and pop in some white clay, but they're kind of almond shaped for Grover. So I'm going to add his pupils now, and what's interesting about Grover is that he's slightly cross-eyed, so I just need to make sure I've got the placements right. And then pop him on the star. And because his nose is quite large, I'm just going to use some craft wire here just to ensure that it kind of sticks well after baking. And similarly to animal, I'm just going to add on some stars here in a really nice pink tone. So animal and Grover are all done, so now it's time to bake them. And at this point you'll need to refer to your own brand of polymer clay's baking instructions. So now my pin badges are all baked and cooled. I'm just going to add on some pin attachments, and to secure them in place I'll use some epoxy glue, and I'll just pop them on some old wet wipes and leave them to dry for 24 hours. And here they are all done, and needless to say I'm really happy with these. I don't know what it is about the Muppets, they just make you smile, don't they? I'm really keen to make some more Muppet pin badges at some point soon, so let me know who your favourite is basically. And you know, it could be a Muppet, could be somebody from Sesame Street or Fraggle Rock. You know, I'm really keen to kind of make them all at some point, so let me know your favourite down below. And yeah, I think that's it for today, so give it a like if you got this far, and see you again soon.